Good morning to all our many, many guests, and welcome to the Buchmann Meta School of Music. We have with us today two Vice Chairmen of the Board of Governors of Tel Aviv University, Yosef and Baraket Buchmann, Stephen and Judy Colton, with the Dean of Faculty of the Arts, Professor... What did I say? What did I say? Oh my God. Stuart and Judy Colton, Dean of Faculty of the Arts, Professor Freddy Rokem, and members of the Board of Governors and Dan David Prize. On the behalf of all of us, we wish to welcome our honorable guest, cellist Yo-Yo Ma, recipient of the Dan David Prize. It's been well over a decade that you haven't been here in Israel, and we're very thrilled that of all the orchestras and performance ensembles here in Israel, you chose us, and you chose this orchestra to work with and to share your precious time here, and we're grateful for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This group, I can't wait to play with.
Let's go for the music.
But
Thank you very much.
I have left my cell phone on during rehearsals. I'm officially turning it off. So, in case anybody has a cell phone, then... And it doesn't turn off. No, so I hope it's turning off. Okay. Thank you. It's so nice to be with you. Thank you. So what did you think? What? Very moving. Very sensitive. Anybody else? No. I mean, I'm just overwhelmed by this orchestra. It's just... And apparently I was told that last week you had just finished a very difficult, huge piece of Requiem, right? And just in a very short time put a very difficult piece of music together with this beautiful solo instruments, everybody together. It's just so inspiring to be with all of you. And as I was saying, it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. They started early. They started at 9, which is even, more amazing to me. So what do you do? What do you say when people play like this? And, what... I'm sort of at a loss. Yes? Sorry, I think you were talking to me. So what, I would love to know sort of what people think during certain parts of the piece. I don't know. What do you think? Is that possible? Like, for example, I'd love to know. I mean, during this short time that we have, I'd just love to know from all of us whether we have the same sort of idea of shaping of things, like for certain sections, and would love to also know how it comes across to you. So you've heard one version of it, and maybe we can talk a little bit, and maybe we can give you another version and see whether the things that we talked about make a difference. Agreed? Deal? Okay? Such a deal that you can't refuse. For example, I've always been curious, and I'm not sure I have any answers, but I thought I would ask the question. What's the difference between, you all have numbers, right? Sort of like between section at 30, that section from 30. What's the difference between 30 and sort of 44? Or like, a couple bars after 44. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are two of the sort of most loudest sections. Yes. Is there a difference in the climaxes? What's loud? What's the character that you're looking for? Anybody have a go at it? No, I mean, how do you feel? There's no wrong answer. So there's not, it's like, no, you're wrong. Yeah. Anybody? So, well, actually, the audience doesn't know what number 30 is. So we could also try playing it and see what you think. Should we try that? Yes. Let's try 30, and then let's try a couple measures after 44.
You do 30 now?
Good thing I don't have to play. No.
You're enjoying the color section.
No, exactly. Okay.
All right. Wait.
That's great. It's fabulous. Can we hear the other section?
Yes.
Have the energy? I'm just trying to exhaust you guys, you know.
4, ובא אחרי 44.
Just kidding.
כן? 5:40? טוב.
Wow, that's 2 huge sections. What's the bravo? So what's the difference?
למה אתם לא רוצים להגיד משהו? תגידו משהו.
Yes.
I think the first one is like a tragedy in his life, that it was the biggest tragedy in his life. And the first part is like the actual thing that happened, and the other part that we play is like he remembers in that tragedy. He thinks of this tragedy and
I see.
he doesn't really feel it, but he remembers it. Yes.
That he's imagining or something. Okay, so one is real, it's happening in kind of your present, and the other is and which is more powerful? Second one, in what way is it powerful? More tension. More tension. Okay. You mean there's more resolution, or somehow in his mind? Keep it coming. More. What other thoughts? What's the difference between the two emotions? Do people agree that the second one has more tension? Well, so first of all, the evidence is that da da da. Right? There is a silence. Right, and also the bass note changes. You're on a D pedal, and then ba. What's the low note when you go ba da da dum? Does anybody know what the lowest note is? Because that's actually, I think, important. I think there's a C. Who's playing a C? Who's playing C? Da 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 da. Anybody that plays C, raise your hand. Yes, exactly. Can you just really let us hear that? Okay, and then you go to B flat, and then D bum 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 bum. You're traveling away from the D pedal that goes to G. That's actually really important if you want to bring out the tension. Okay? The other thing that I think is kind of interesting, which relates to what you're talking about, what's your dynamic when you play ba da 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 da? Forte. And what's the dynamic that you play just before that incredible silence? How many fortes? Okay, some people have 2, and I think I see 3 for a lot of people.
I have 3.
You have 3.
Yes.
Wow.
And I did the utmost.
I only have 1. Will you lend me one? So, no. Okay. So wait. So what's going on here? You have crescendo, crescendo, crescendo to like 3 fortes. It's louder than anything else in the piece. Then you have a moment of silence, and what? And then it's forte. What could that mean? Yeah.
I think that the silence is like, it's all figurative. I'm not talking about the specific music. It's I think that the silence is like, it's always like it's like he stops. It's the moment that he stops, and his life is like running through his head all his life before the final.
So you're back to the idea of tension, but maybe internalized tension, or remembered tension, or something. Go ahead.
I also think that in people's lives, when you think about events that happen to you in life, the fact that you're thinking about it, the image in your head is usually much bigger than the actual event.
Remembered events can be much stronger than the actual event. So the cumulative memory can have more anguish to it. So that's deep thinking. We always give percussionists a hard time. So, yeah, you're just a rhythm. But you think they're doing nothing, but they're actually thinking. This is unbelievable. So, congratulations. So we have this crescendo and this. And then can you just like play da 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 da? Just some of you play those 3 phrases.
You mean after the climax?
Yeah, and let's actually, while you play it, can you think you're going first to a B flat? What's the second thing that you do? Ba da 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 da. Right? Okay. Da da. So an octave, and then what's the third one? Da F natural. That's a 10th. And what's the dynamic you have?
Be careful of your.
Okay. And so you have forte, crescendo, but so you usually come out pretty strong there. What happens to the F? What dynamic do you have? Yes, but is it on the F?
It's on the bar after that. It's after the F.
The bar after. So you have ba da 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 ya da 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 da. No, comes more. Not da ya, but ba ya ba. That's the fortissimo. And what happens in the bass? You have ba da 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 ba. You go to C before you go back to the D pedal, back to G. So there's an incredible alignment there that if you actually do that, I think some of what you're talking about, this internal anguish that keeps rising and rising with the changing bass pedal, with thinking this is the top. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And bang, the whole bottom drops out. Would you try that? Would you like to kind of try this maybe from...
You mean after the Zuma?
Well, actually, why don't you do a couple measures before the scissors so we can hear what triple forte sounds like, and then what forte sounds like, and then what the 3 phrases together sound
Do the
like.
same spot from the 5/4. Can you play with that?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
So I start right.
Yeah, exactly.
5/4, התיבה אחרי 44. Okay?
What's the difference? What is your feeling with this version versus the other? You can say, I don't like it, but describe what you like or don't like. Did it measure to what the percussionists were talking about? Yes?
I think the second version had
Had much
much more conviction.
more conviction. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah? More tension. Okay. That's one of the things we're looking for. So you got it. Someone from upstairs? Are you all...
Upstairs.
Are you with us?
Backbenches, like in the parliament.
Hi. Anybody? No reaction? It sounds exactly the same. What? Just...
Maybe it's our fault.
No. How did you feel? Because
The tone was more clear, more dramatic.
it's more dramatic, its tone is more clear? Okay, so I thought the basses were really kick-ass good. It's fabulous. It's really good. I think there's... There are two other things I'd like to mention about this section. So you jump a six, you fall down. There are a lot of natural motions in this music. You know, you jump up, it falls out. It's as if you were to throw something up in the air. You know what happens, right? It kind of stops, and just before it goes, if you could actually not play da clean da 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 ya da 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 da, so that the rhythm ba 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 is part of that falling motion, it would be incredibly powerful. And when you guys go da 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 da, it's the other surge from below. And again, the two motions can be really, really powerful. Can you just do that part once? Ba ya da da da.
Okay.
And so then the C's that go ya da 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 da. Also make the rhythm count, not as a metrical thing, but as a huge pulsation that is from the ground up. Okay.
Okay. אחרי הצזורה, כן? כמו שכם. על הלב.
Ask you something that if you can connect so it's otherwise I sing it out inside. Don't let me feel you're playing down bow and up bow, and just know that your bows are always stronger than your up bows. So the tendency is to go. So. Can you do that? You just do that 1, 2, 3.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about this accelerando on one triplet note? How to do this? Because usually what we play, it as it written, without the accelerando. Or as fast as possible, or what, because it's very strange.
Everything's strange.
But this is very strange.
Okay. Da 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 dum ba dum. It's I would say that I would say that that's part of that the natural motion of the parabola that goes. You throw something up. Da 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 da. You can't suddenly go da boom, right? The gravity, natural gravity of what it should feel like. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Okay?
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
we will exaggerate it now.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
That's it.
And now throw this up in the air and see.
Yes.
Kind of.
Okay?
thing that's missing. When you go, if you're in anguish, you can't suddenly go ba da da. The up, okay, the short note after a long note needs to always be somehow articulated in some way. Otherwise, you still don't. And both in terms of, you now do it fabulously with the bowing. I really hear the up bow, the strength of the up bow. But what I miss is a kind of inner tension, which means sort of like elbow room for the eighth note. Da. If you do it exactly, da, 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 it sounds kind of, square. Ba, ya, da. It's just like say that note needs to live as long as you could possibly make it within the stricture of the meter. So that when da, 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 that will determine how you play the triplet.
The line on the B
If
flat.
there's no tension in that eighth note, you're not going to know where to place the da da ba da. It all has to kind of make sense.
Direction.
If you can try that once more.
Direction. Okay? Again.
You're aiming for the third one, the bar after. This is really getting fabulous. I think this is great. Now, basses. I love you all.
Me too.
Yeah, it's because you're the most important thing in this piece. I think one of the things about this work, it's not small, it's not normal, it's grand. And there are many ways of describing grand, right? Majestic. It's something huge. You guys, the pedal points. Like one of his ways of expression is, one big, huge D pedal until. So basically, the more you can make us feel either a long time of bass or with either ba, 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 ba. When it changes, it's important. When you get to the A pedal in the middle, that's really important. So what will help, I think, the violins, da, 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 da. Brahms does it all the time, 2 against 3, as to give you, that kind of tension. Punch it out. I really would love to hear it, pa, 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 so that it's against there too. Okay? We don't need to do that again, but let's go to the other section. Is that okay?
You mean number 30?
Yeah. Is that okay?
All right.
Now. Points we've talked about. This is actually. I remember also. That's sort of, for the cello part, the quietest, the most innig, the most sort of inner moment, which I think goes with, again, those genius percussionists are saying this is an internal memory. It is somehow very, very, very private. Sorrow, anguish. One is maybe personal sorrow. I don't know, maybe the other's collective sorrow, collective memory. collective anguish. I don't know what it is, but certainly it's the same melody. And so there's some symbolic significance that we can attach ourselves to. Now, what happens, now let's look at what's different about 30. You don't have that same theme. There is no theme. You're in motion. You're in some motoric hell.
And there is a build-up.
Yeah. And then you got those fabulous brass. And then basically you're reaching up and you're falling. You're falling and you're falling. So you're gunning for something. You don't get there. And can you play some of the chords? Can you play like softly before 34? 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. Second beat.
Okay. This is the climax.
Yeah. Just want to hear that chord.
Okay. Just the whole.
Yeah. Just the chord. Yeah. And softly, just so that we hear.
רק האקורד שארבע תיבות לפני 34, רק תחזיק אותו. שאחרי הרבע הראשון. 4 תיבות לפני 34, אבל רבע שני. רבע שני. אוקיי? אבל פיאניסימו. פיאניסימו. ואחד.
Can someone play all the notes in the chord? Okay, then go on to the next chord. Note. Play the whole 4 bars. Ba, ba, ba. Okay.
פיאנו. ו1.
So the bottom is B flat. Everybody be really conscious of every dissonant note that you have. You know, because don't play it as a normal note, because if it sounds pretty, no, stick it to the B flat, B flatters, okay? So once more softly, but just really concentrate on that.
תמיד על הרבע השני. ו1.
When you play the A, what do you play? What are your notes are? Right? Then you take over the bass. Does that make sense? Now, can I point out one other thing that this happens with absolutely every instrument plays. Or when you play that, can you also be aware of that there's something underneath? So don't go. So, where are we?
This is the horns play this A and
so
G sharp.
can you play the A and the G sharp with the A timpani?
Okay. Just the horns and the timpani.
Yes.
Right? It's after 34. We start on the third bar with the upbeat. Okay, and you
And you have trombones also playing B flat, right?
trombone.
E flat. E flat. So if you can play
You
E
want to
flat.
hear them also?
Yeah, I think we want to hear the tension of the A and G sharp against the A and the E flat.
Okay. So the third bar after third chord, trombone, טובה וטרומבון שלישי, קרנות וטימפנים. אוקיי? אבל עם תנמ"ת. 1, 2.
Now, when each time, so it's like you may be the same person, but if things around you change, which is the ba, 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 you may be doing da, da, da. If you're actually sensitive to what's going on there, it actually should change the way you play the da, 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 especially as it gets closer to the A pedal. Okay, so maybe it's more and more tension. Da 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 ba 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 da da da. Okay, so there's a lot of tension until we get to the A, but there's still a lot of tension because we have the timpani that goes with the rhythm. Can you do that once more? Is that clear?
The whole passage
that's what we just did.
The same group.
Yeah.
And the same spot. Okay. The third bar after 34.
So G sharp changes.
1, 2.
Yes. That's great. You hear the difference? It's no longer ordinary. It's significant. Everything becomes a little symbolic of something. So now, before you all get really bored, I'd like all of you to find in each one of your parts when you do this. Right? So just look all over the piece so you know when we play through it again, you know, you just say this once, and you know that whenever you play this, you're going to be listening for what you're playing against. What's the tension? And it could be nothing else going on, but you want to hear a pedal that you're playing against. So sometimes you could pretend that there's a pedal, but sometimes you could, even when there's none, you could feel that the ground is there. Your grandparents aren't there, but you feel their presence. You know, that's the kind of feeling that a pedal point
We
can
feel
give.
our grandparents here in this piece.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is about ancient stuff. Thank you. I have one too. Thank you. So in a way, we're in the present. We're performing, playing for you, but actually, we're bringing something from memory that you talked about, but also ancient memory. So, okay? Now, let's do something really exciting. Because it's been very boring so far. I'd love to hear what happens with the violins. Tell me what's the marking. Why do we have these little things on the second beats? Yeah, at 31. Can you just play that once? So, can you really try and play? You know, and then, can you try that?
All the strings. Right?
Yeah.
From 30.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
Oh, you
except for
want
the basses.
the connection.
Yes, exactly. Just the strings that are playing.
Let's start from 30
Okay.
and put it together.
All right.
אוקיי? 30 רק מיתרים, בלעדי קונטרבאס.
Wait.
So we have a string kind of question. As we talked about earlier, down bows always have accents. So you're actually doing it on the up bows. So I hear, you really want to hear. So really lighten up on the down bows if you can, okay? Can we try, whoever plays that part, join in. That means the flutes, the flute, clarinet, oboe, right?
No, that's
From 32, exactly. Whenever this comes in, just play that part, all right? So we just hear constantly, is that okay?
Okay, so we start from 31.
30 again.
30 again?
Yeah.
תדגישו תמיד את השני בתוך הזה. די, אוקיי? אנחנו מתחילים ב-30.
2 and 4 and then just 2.
אתם יכולים להצטרף אלינו.
Second, fourth beat. So what do you think? What's Bloch thinking? He's doing something that's kind of unnatural, right? It feels strange to do. So what's his point? Is he just want to torture you, or is he,
I can't tell, but I think this is the depiction of what goes on in a synagogue. So, in a prayer, somebody just drops out a line and just exclaims it out of no reason. Mm-hmm. It tends to disturb everybody. So it just comes out of words.
Mm-hmm. Murmuring all the time in the synagogue.
So murmuring, but then something pops up and it disturbs.
Randomly at this word, I just want to come out a bit.
Okay. So it's something. So in a way, expected, unexpected.
We know it's going to be there, but it's always a surprise.
It's always a surprise. So there's something that keeps you a little bit on edge, right? And what happens when you actually? We're talking about accents on the second beat. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when do you actually get accents on ones?
When we reach the 4/4, but the long one.
So those chords are really ugly,
Nasty,
destructive, powerfully destructive, and all of this murmuring. Or whatever, maybe it's bad rumors, maybe it's, I don't know, but it raises your expectation of something is going to happen, and then something really bad happens, then the skies open up, then you have da-da-da. So if you can just do that whole section, and when you hit the first beats, and you hear those chords, really give it to us, okay? Let's try it.
begin from 30. 30. עד למקום של הטימפני, אחרי השישה רבעים. אוקיי? תות.
does that feel? Does it make sense? Do you feel now? How is this section different from the other one? Now that we've kind of go ahead.
I think this section is much more. You can see a very clear image of something happening, and to compare it to the other section, which is much more going much more emotion. You feel more that the story that someone tells about this experience, but it has this emotion. You get a very objective description of the event.
So this is like the journalist's report. This is like this is the report from the front lines, and this is what's happened, and it's still not filtered. It's very raw, right? It's dealing with present fear or present destruction or whatever, and then so there's a time element. Okay, this is. Do you agree? I mean, I don't know. Does that make sense to you? Upstairs? You still here? Okay. All right. Okay. Good. And congratulations on It's great. When you're falling, don't forget you're falling a long way. And your diminuendo doesn't really. It's only poco diminuendo to forte. So don't go below forte. They can really blast it out. So but I could always use much more bass, because when we miss that bass, we don't know what we're going against. Okay, and So, what time is it? I know I have your watch. Anybody want to try anything before we do another run through? Would you like to do another run through? Yeah.
מישהו רוצה לשאול משהו?
I'll just put that here. Okay, what now that we have two sections, let's play mystery, okay? Detective. What does it mean now that we've established how those two sections relate? What happens at 13? Can someone talk about what 13 is like and what 6 is like? That's another section, right? That you do, right? No, about 13. Is similar to what? Right. And how is it different? I'm always interested in what's different. Interesting, the theme, ba-da-da-da, there is fortissimo. Isn't that interesting?
And the upbeat is not on the beat.
Yeah.
I mean, they ba instead of
right.
Ba.
Right. And there's no silence before. There's no da-da-da-da-da, ba-da. This is, you're going, ba-da-da-da. So it's, in a way, what is it? So if the second one has more internal anguish or whatever, maybe this one is more just, okay, I'm proud, I'm here, it's before the battle. Yeah?
I think, first of all, although this is much more powerful by the dynamics, it's less powerful in your feelings than the last one, even though the last one is softer. Because, and this is, I think, another thing that when you remember things from the past, you mix and then other things that has nothing to do with the event you're trying to say. That's exactly what I said before. But the last section, that he tries to tell about the event that happened to him, but he can't concentrate only on the specific event. So he takes motifs from another past, another thing that together it's much more powerful, even though it's more softer.
I think, yeah, go ahead.
I just didn't regard it too much yet, but it could be, I'm not sure when he wrote this, he wrote here, but
1916, I think.
16.
Yeah.
So it could be quite a prophecy of what was about to happen, talking about the World War.
Yeah.
If you look at the first time, well, look at number 6, for example, which it could be regarded like as an ancient ritual, okay, as a style, you know, the collato. It's an ancient ritual of the old temple. Then when you arrive at the 415, it's the highlight of the first climax of. I'm sorry, let's talk about the nation.
Right.
They feel quite good with themselves and they establish a position.
You're proud. You're proud, and you've established your nation.
Yeah,
it's good, but
then when they arrive at what we talked about, 31.
yeah,
You hear these rumors you were talking about.
you hear these rumors,
And
and it's. I'm speaking because I have a mic here. Yeah, go ahead.
32, the bombing starts and everything collapses.
The bombing starts. So this is now we're in the 1970s. No, kidding.
No, yeah, not that one.
Yeah, okay, not that one. Okay, all right.
And then when you look at the last time, which by the way I'm not sure about the dynamics. I thought it should be fortissimo. It's forte because it's so high. It's the high register of the violin. So that's why you wrote a bit less.
Yeah.
You do it now.
I think that could be true, except that what I know about him is that he was incredibly meticulous on sort of on dynamics, and I know he was sensitive to instrumentation, but I think in this case he might have been really thinking all through, because it's not just for violins, it's for all the other strings too. So
this last time was just survived, so everything recalls back on everything
Yeah.
was still there. But again, it's a prophecy. Prophecy music. It's nothing to do with what you see.
can you all hear him? Yeah? Okay. So with that in mind, make sure that, now I have to ask you,
Yes, please.
we've heard all of this, so how would you do these 4 sections? How would like us to think about this? So we now know sort of the last 2 sections. Now those first 2 sections at 13 and then at 6. 6, I would say, it should not go too far.
No.
Right? Because if we blow it in the first 7 minutes,
I told them yesterday, it's here just a forte,
Yeah.
not more than 40, because otherwise we kill the climax
Yeah, yeah,
afterwards.
yeah.
And then there is a procedure of building up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we always have to save a little
yeah.
bit.
I don't know about the real world, but in music, power is when you don't use it.
Yes, that's right.
Power is the suggestion of what is in store. So never give da ya da da, because you sit up straight, you make a dignified, noble sound or whatever, and you just save 5%. Always. Because you actually give room for everybody to join in. When you're going like this, you have absolutely no room for anybody to enter into your sphere. There's no window. If you just relax a little bit, sit up straight, and look, and listen, you're actually doing much more expression. You can do da ya da da da. You can try in fortissimo. But you can do it with an inner force. Okay? So that's, always keep that in mind. Because the danger with this piece is like, oh gee, it's not a good piece, it's just kind of bombastic. It's not, it's very clearly kind of structured. So if you all keep this in mind when we play through this now, I think we could, and not to forget, this is a small room. So also acknowledge the room you're in. You know this room very well. And maybe too well. But you know this room so well that you know what you don't need to do. And make sure every place that you play, you treat the room as your friend. Which means you got to know it really well. Each room is different. Each friend is different. So just think about that. So you just adjust to the room. You're not playing to an abstract space. Okay? So let's keep that in mind, and maybe let's play through it.
All right.
Yeah? Okay. For those of you that play, and we won't go through any of this now, if you think you're part of a longer phrase and you're just playing 2 bars of the phrase, make sure you give it off to the next group. There are a number of places where that happens. So don't play your part and say, okay, I'm done. Physically, emotionally, mentally, take it from someone and give it to somebody else. Okay? Relay melodies. Or whatever. Got enough energy? 3 times in 1 morning. Yeah, exactly. This is a lot. Yeah? Okay.